I wasn't planning to record this, let alone share it with anyone. But you're listening now, so I guess that means I finally ran out of excuses. You're about to hear something I swore never to repeat. Not because it's unbelievable, though parts of it are, but because everyone else who was on that Discord call is dead or missing, and saying those words out loud still feels like signing my own death certificate. I've avoided this for months. I deleted the logs. I wiped the app. But my memory didn't go anywhere. And if this video goes down, or if my account suddenly disappears after posting it, you'll know why. You're probably already wondering what kind of call could do something like that. What kind of stupid online stunt leads to 5 people vanishing in the span of a week? I used to think it was just a glitch, some corrupted channel, a broken server, a freak database issue. At least that's what the mods told us. But they lied. We all knew they were lying the second the invite link reappeared after being deleted. The second a channel with no creator and no permissions somehow opened itself. Discord wiped the entire server after the incident, blamed it on automated safety protocols, and told me to stop asking questions. But the truth is still there, crawling around the edges of my memory, refusing to let me sleep. And I can't shake the feeling that whatever we heard on that call isn't finished with me yet. I don't know if sharing this will help anyone, or if it's just going to paint a bigger target on my back, but silence didn't save the others. So maybe honesty will. Maybe getting the story out there will keep someone else from joining the wrong voice channel at the wrong time. To understand why that call killed everyone, I need to start before the horror began. And if you're still listening after all of this, remember that hearing a story is harmless, until the moment it decides to follow you beyond the screen into your room. Before everything went to hell, it was just us. 5 idiots who had nothing better to do on a Friday night than hang out in a Discord server we'd been using since high school. If you had dropped into one of our calls back then, you wouldn't have noticed anything strange. Nothing cursed. Nothing dangerous. Just the usual chaotic comfort that comes from people who have wasted far too many years talking instead of sleeping. Tyler was basically our dad. Not because he was responsible, God no, but because he appointed himself the server mod and took it way too seriously. If someone posted a meme older than 3 days, he'd threaten to ban them for crimes against culture. He kept the place running in that barely functional way only someone with too much free time and too much Red Bull could manage. Then there was Ace, the gamer of the group. He talked like he was sponsored by every energy drink brand on the planet, even though he never won a match in anything ever. He'd rage, declare the game broken, and then queue again 5 seconds later. If anyone was destined to die screaming at a loading screen, it was him. Nia was the artist, the only one of us with actual talent. Half the time she was muted, working on some commission, and the other half she was roasting us so aggressively that even Ace shut up. Her humor was sharp, dark, quick. She never smiled in pictures, but somehow the rest of US did whenever she was around. Red barely talked. You'd forget he was even in the call until he suddenly dropped a one-liner funnier than anything the rest of us had said all night. He lurked like it was a lifestyle, only chiming in when the perfect moment struck. Honestly, I don't think any of us really knew him. Not the way we thought we did. And then there was me, just the narrator, the quiet glue, the person who screen-shared videos everyone pretended they hated but kept watching anyway. I wasn't the leader, not the joker, not the heart. I was just there, watching everyone else live their messy digital lives through cheap mics and awful webcams. Our Friday night tradition started years before the call, the one no one survived. Back then, it was laughter, cursed TikToks, horror games, dumb arguments about whether cereal is a soup. It was normal. So normal that remembering it now feels wrong. Like nostalgia is trying to poison me. Because here's the part that haunts me most. One of us, sitting in those calls laughing like everyone else, was already dead inside. And we just didn't notice. Maybe we couldn't. Maybe whatever happened later had already started brushing its claws against us, choosing who would fall first. I didn't know then. None of US did. Everything changed the night Tyler found that link. I was halfway through arguing with Ace about whether he'd been stream sniping again when Tyler suddenly stopped talking. His mic crackled. Just a tiny pulse of static. And then he said, quiet but confused, guys? Did one of you make a new voice lobby? We didn't. Nobody had touched the server settings in months. Our layout was always the same. General, memes, gaming, and the cursed, permanently muted channel called AC Loserboard. Nothing else. But a new voice channel sat at the very top of the server list, above even general. A place where no channel could be created. Private lobby system. And beneath it, a line that shouldn't exist. Owner. Just a dash. No username. No server ID. Nothing. At first, I thought Tyler was pranking us. He loved messing with the server, adding bots that played fart sounds or creating 1,000 fake channels named Free Nitro. But when I clicked the channel, something was wrong. You see that too, right? Tyler asked, his voice tight. Yeah, I said. But why is it at the top? No one answered. Because the channel name flickered. Not changed. Flickered. Like a light bulb struggling to stay alive. Private lobby. System private lobby. SY private lobby. Then back to normal. Ace typed something in chat. Ace, Tyler WTF hack? The message appeared for 1 second, then deleted itself. Automatically. Not edited. Not removed by mods. Just gone. Dude, do not play around with bots right now, Nia said. But even she sounded unsure. I'm not. Tyler snapped. Swear to God. This wasn't here earlier. I was checking channels like 10 minutes ago. That's when all of our usernames flickered, our avatars swapping to blank gray Discord placeholders for a split instant before switching back. Nia tried reacting with an emoji to test the glitch. Nothing happened. She tried again. Still nothing. It's not letting me react, she muttered. Is the server bugging or... No, I whispered. Because on my screen, the icon of the new voice lobby, normally a gray speaker symbol, had started changing. Slowly rotating through images like a corrupt slideshow. First, static. Then, a silhouette of a face distorted, stretched, wrong. Then, blank. Then back to static. I felt something cold crawl down my spine. I didn't tell them the truth. I didn't tell them why seeing that face paralyzed me for a second too long. Because I had seen it before. When I was 7. On an old TV my dad swore was broken. The screen flashing a shape almost identical to this one. Just before the basement lights went out for an entire night. But I didn't say any of that. I didn't even breathe. Red typed. Red. Tyler. Don't join it. But Tyler already had his mouse over the channel. His name lit up, half highlighted like Discord was trying to pull him in before he clicked. Guys, relax, he said. It's probably just a system update. Maybe Discord added a default private lobby feature. Then why can't we interact with it? Nia asked. Why is the owner blank? Ace added. Why did my message delete itself? Ace added again, only for that message to vanish too. More flickering. More gray placeholders. My ping spiked to 3000 milliseconds for a second and then dropped to normal. Then the new lobby popped one fresh notification. One user inside. Tyler hadn't clicked anything. It dragged him, Nia whispered. And she was right. His username was in the channel with a green connected symbol. But his audio wasn't lighting up. No mic activity. No breathing. Nothing. Tyler, I called. Dude, say something. No answer. Just the faintest, slowest crackle of static leaking through his audio input. I should have closed Discord. I should have exited the server, blocked everyone, shut down my PC, thrown the whole thing out the window. But I didn't, because Tyler typed one last message before he disappeared from the text channel entirely. Tyler, guys, hop in. You have to see this. We joined anyway. Worst mistake of my life. The call connected with the usual soft bloop, and for a second, everything felt normal. Just the 5 of us. Tyler's mic crackled as he adjusted his headset. Nia hummed the same off-key tune she always did when loading her drawing software. Ace opened with his usual, "All right, boys, who's ready to lose?" And Red, predictably, said nothing. That was our normal. Familiar. Safe. But the longer I stayed in that call, the more I realized how wrong everything actually was. At first, it was something so small I thought I imagined it. Just a faint, steady breathing under the chatter. It didn't match any of us. It wasn't too loud, not creepy enough to call out, but just present enough that every time someone paused, the sound filled the gaps like a heartbeat we didn't consent to hearing. I almost muted to see if it was me, but the second I hovered over the button, the breathing stopped as if whoever was doing it knew I was about to check. Ace kept talking trash, unaware of anything being off. Tyler, you better not rage quit this time, bro. No promises. Tyler laughed. Then it happened again, but louder, closer. A soft inhale, followed by a shaky exhale, like someone leaning directly into a mic they shouldn't have access to. I typed, "Who's doing that breathing?" Before I could press enter, the sound cut off completely. I waited. No one reacted. No one even seemed to hear it. For a moment, I convinced myself I was imagining it. Until something else went wrong. Ace was in the middle of recounting some insane clutch he pulled in a game, when suddenly, over his voice, something echoed. Not him, but an echo of his sentence from a few seconds earlier, except warped, slowed, and way too close. It repeated one fragmented line he never actually said. "I didn't leave." Nia stopped humming. "Did you guys hear that?" "Hear what?" Tyler asked. "That repeat. Like someone's mic doubled." Ace laughed hard. "Nice prank, who's soundboarding? I swear if y'all are trying to freak me out." He didn't finish because right then, a new user appeared in the call. Not joined. Peered. A sixth profile icon blinked into existence between mine and Red's. Completely blank, no username, no avatar, no audio indicator. It didn't light up. It didn't idle. It didn't exist in the way a normal account should. It was just there. "Tyler, who the hell is that?" I asked. Tyler swore under his breath. "Dude, I didn't. Bro, that wasn't there a second ago." Nia tried clicking it. Nothing. Ace tried kicking it. Nothing. I tried right-clicking to see the profile. No menu at all. The breathing returned. But this time, I know for a fact everyone heard it. "Okay. Who's doing that?" Ace snapped. And instantly, the breathing stopped. Like someone hit mute the second they were acknowledged. The silence that followed was worse than the breathing. It stretched long and thin, like the entire call was waiting for someone to move first. Even Red unmuted for half a second before deciding against it. Then the distortion hit. Not loud, not dramatic, just a low, staticky buzz, the kind you hear when rotating the dial on an old radio. It wove into the silence, crackling, glitching, breaking the air in little bursts. I said, "Is someone downloading something? I'm hearing." And my own voice cut me off. Not a repeat. Not an echo. My exact voice asked, "Who's in the room with you?" I froze. My real mic was silent. My mouth hadn't moved. The others gasped almost simultaneously. Ace cursed. "Nope. Nope. Someone's trolling with a voice changer." But there was no laughter. No mocking. Just that blank sixth user sitting dead center of our call like an eye. Tyler attempted to leave and rejoin. "Hold up. Let me reset." He clicked disconnect. Nothing happened. I should have told them the truth right then, that after the call I tried to re-listen. I had a full local recording, and the file won't play anymore. It's corrupted, unreadable, or maybe consumed. I don't know. But there's a moment in the timeline where the waveforms flatten out like something erased itself, or was never recorded in the first place. But I didn't tell them that. Not yet. Because at that exact moment, another sound eased into our headsets, soft at first, then sharper. Not breathing. Not distortion. Something thinner. Closer. A faint, deliberate scratching, like fingernails dragging across the inside of a microphone. And that's when everything truly began to fall apart. The scratching hadn't stopped. It just thinned out, tapering into this rhythmic rasp that felt like it was moving around us, circling the call instead of coming from any one mic. I found myself staring at the list of users, waiting for that blank sixth one to light up. It never did. It just sat there, a dead icon in a living room. Then the screen flickered. Not anyone's camera. We never used cameras during late-night calls. This was a screen share notification, popping into existence at the top left corner, like someone had intentionally pressed the share button. Except nobody did. Who just shared their screen? Nia asked. Tyler muttered, Not me. Ace said, Bro, my keyboard's not even near me. The preview window expanded automatically. Full resolution, no thumbnails, no delay. First it was just black. Not blank black, but the kind of darkness that has depth to it. The kind that feels like staring into a long tunnel. Then something moved inside it. I leaned closer to my monitor before I could stop myself. Whatever shifted was too fast to be human, but too deliberate to be a glitch. It crawled or slithered or repositioned, pressing closer to the camera on the other end. Whose screen is that? Ace asked again, his voice unsteady this time. It's not mine, I said. Tyler's breathing picked up. Guys, that's not a desktop. That's not a game. That's, what am I looking at? I wished I knew. A shape entered the frame, pale, rubbery, like skin stretched over something that didn't understand anatomy. It moved wrong, jerked too sharply, then corrected itself in a fluid glide. A smooth, sweeping motion a person's joints couldn't replicate. It wasn't until it got close, too close, that we realized what part we were seeing. A face, or something trying to be one. The features weren't aligned right. The cheekbones were too low. The mouth was too wide. The nose seemed pressed flat, as if someone had grabbed the skin and pulled it forward like clay. But the eyes, God, the eyes. They were deep and dark and empty, but they blinked. And the worst part? They blinked in perfect sync with someone's breathing. Not the creature's breathing. Ours. Every inhale, its eyelids fluttered. Every exhale, it stared. Ace whispered, Stop breathing for a sec. We did. The whole call fell into one held breath. And the face stayed frozen. Then Nia gasped for air, and the face's eyelids snapped shut and open in one rapid motion. I think that's when we all realized the general rule we had silently assumed, that it couldn't see us, was completely wrong. It wasn't reacting to the person sharing the screen. It was reacting to each of us. Guys, Tyler said slowly, that's not my desktop. No one accused him. None of us wanted to believe that someone in the group was behind this. But seeing that face respond to us, breathe with us, I felt my stomach tighten. The face leaned closer. The screen pixelated. The frame rate dropped. But the movement stayed smooth, like the creature wasn't bound by the same digital limits everything else was. Suddenly, a synth-like whisper came from the call, distorted text-to-speech except corrupted, like the software was choking on the words. Who's first? 3 syllables that felt like they crawled down the spine of the internet itself. I should have told them right then that this wasn't the first time I'd heard that voice. That's something years back when I was a kid playing on my mom's old laptop. Something whispered to me from a pop-up I was too young to understand. Something that sounded almost exactly like this. But the memory knifed up my throat so hard I couldn't form the words. Before any of us could respond, the creature's mouth split wider. Not opening, stretching. The black screen throbbed like a living thing. And then, a scream ripped through the call. A real scream. One of ours. The icon next to it flashed red once. Then cut out entirely, like the mic had been ripped from the device, cable and all. A user disconnected. Just gone. No goodbye. No glitch. Just a clean, final snap. And the screen share kept going. The face staring at us. Waiting for the next breath. Ace's scream cut off so violently it left a physical buzzing in my ears. Like the call itself was still vibrating with the sound. His icon went dark. Not offline, just gone. No status. No activity. As if Discord didn't remember he'd ever been in the call. For a moment, none of us spoke. I think we were all trying to rationalize the same impossible moment in different ways. Tyler broke first. Okay, funny prank. Really funny, he said, voice cracking. Ace? Dude? If you're messing with us, just hop back in. But Ace didn't rejoin, and the screen share remained frozen on that warped face lurking in the blackness, waiting like it expected applause. Nia whispered, What if something happened to him? Red scoffed, but it wasn't confident, just fear wearing sarcasm like armor. He probably tripped over his shitty setup. That mic's been dying for months. I opened Discord DMs, hand shaking a little, and typed, You good? What the hell was that? No reply. Then ping. A notification popped up, but not a message. A location. A live one. He'd shared his location with me earlier that week when we were trying to meet up for a tournament. He never turned it off. The dot sat in the middle of his house's blueprint layout. Not moving. Not shifting. Just still. Too still. Guys, I said. I just got his location. He's home. So? Tyler asked, trying for casual and missing by a mile. So he's not moving. At all. A beat passed. Then the screen share flickered. Once. Twice. 3 times. It switched from the face to something else. Darkness again, but not the same kind. This wasn't a void. This was a place. A narrow hallway. Barely lit. I could almost see the grain on the walls. Whose feed is that? Nia whispered. Not mine, I said. Not mine, Tyler added. It looks real, Red said. The camera shook slightly as if the person holding it or whatever held it breathed. And then the hallway light blinked off. Complete darkness swallowed the screen. Something scraped the floor on the other side. Okay. I'm leaving, Tyler muttered. This isn't funny anymore. He clicked the leave call button. His icon didn't budge. Click, 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 click. Why am I still here? He whispered. Before any of us could answer, a new user joined the call. Ason. No avatar. Just a gray silhouette. Muted. No audio. Not typing. Oh hell no, Red said. That's a bot. That's a hacked bot. Ace made a bot to freak us out. But his voice kept rising, betraying his fear. The user list glitched, items stacking, flickering, duplicating. And then the chat exploded. Not with messages, but with symbols. Lines of unreadable characters pouring in faster than we could scroll. Vertical strokes, inverted letters, broken Unicode that resembled half-formed words. Then one symbol repeated over and over. A square. Like an empty mouth. Make it stop, Nia said, sobbing now. Tyler, delete the room. Kick the bot. Tyler tried. We could hear his frantic clicking. I can't, he whispered. It won't let me do anything. It's like the permissions changed. The symbols multiplied. The ace, 1. User flickered, vanishing and reappearing as if the system couldn't decide whether he existed. Then something else happened. Something worse. In my headphones, faint but unmistakable, I heard a voice. My voice. It said, it can copy us. It only needs to hear our voice once. I froze. Cold spread through my chest. Because I hadn't said that. I hadn't even thought that. The words came pre-made, whispered directly into my ear by something that wasn't in my room. The others didn't react, they didn't hear it. Another notification popped up. Ace's location pin blinked once, then dimmed, like a heartbeat stopping. The screen share flickered again. The hallway reappeared. Something stood at the end of it. Something tall. We should have ended the call, I whispered. We should have hung up the second Ace screamed. But before the others could answer, the call locked us in. Tyler kept clicking the leave call button like it was a panic switch, each frantic tap echoing through the mic as if even the hardware was starting to glitch. But no matter how many times he pressed it, his icon stayed right there next to ours. Locked in, frozen in place like the system refused to acknowledge the command. Why isn't it working? He muttered. Why the hell isn't it working? Nia was crying openly now, soft, messy sobs that made the already thick air feel heavier. Please just end it, she kept whispering. Tyler, make it stop. Make it stop. Red snapped. This is on you, man. You're the one who clicked that stupid link. You're the one who dragged us into this cursed server. Don't put this on me. Tyler shot back. His voice cracked so sharply it almost broke the call. I didn't make the channel. I didn't create anything. I tried the leave call button too, just to confirm. The moment I clicked it, Discord froze. The entire app turned pale like a dead screen. The cursor spun uselessly. Even trying to force quit didn't work. My computer acted like the program wasn't responding, but it also wouldn't close. Like something inside the system was gripping it from the other side. Guys, I said, check your phones. We all fumbled for our devices. Mine shouldn't have shown anything. I'd never opened Discord on it that night. But there it was. A banner notification at the top. Call in progress. Midnight Infinity. The infinity symbol pulsed faintly. It's on my phone too, Red whispered. How is that even possible? Nia's voice broke again. It's following us. The call is following us. And then the strangest thing happened. The call timer on my desktop changed. Not the seconds, not the minutes, but the format. It didn't count up. It didn't count down. It simply displayed a single symbol. Infinity. A feedback hiss filled the call for a split second. Then a voice began to speak. But it wasn't one voice. It was all of ours, layered together in a single collapsing chorus. My tone, Nia's shaky breath, Red's frustration, Tyler's panic, Ace's laugh from earlier in the night. All stacked, blended, distorted. The cadences aligned like gears turning inside a clock. It said, "You cannot leave." All of us froze. Because hearing your own voice say something you didn't speak is one thing. Hearing it say something at the exact same moment everyone else hears their own version of the same sentence, that's a different kind of terror. A deeper one. Like something was mimicking each of us perfectly, trying on our voices like masks. The chorus spoke again, a little slower this time. You let it in. Red's breathing hitched. What does it want? Nia whispered. Us. Tyler's mic spiked suddenly. Stop talking. Everybody shut up. Just stop giving it sound to work with. But it was too late. The voice layered itself one last time. Quieter now, like it was leaning in. You're staying. Something in me cracked then. Not panic, not anger, but the realization that this wasn't a bug or a hack. It wasn't a rogue bot or a creepy glitch. This was deliberate, intelligent, and whatever it was, it didn't live in the code. That was just the doorway. To the viewers who think this is overblown, exaggerated, impossible, don't. If the call timer on your device ever freezes, if the duration ever shifts from numbers to symbols, if you ever hear yourself say something you didn't say, get out. Whatever you do, get out. Back in that moment, though, we didn't get out. We couldn't. Because right after the voice stopped and the silence settled into the call like dust, that's when the death started. For a moment, the call went quiet. No static. No glitching. No breathing from anyone's mic. Just silence. Thick enough that I could hear my own heartbeat, punching against my ribs like it was trying to escape before I did. On the screen, our circles hovered in a neat line. Ace gray, Nia green, Red yellow, Tyler orange, me green. The strange user Ace 1 sat at the bottom of the list, still muted, still iconless. Just a blank, black silhouette. It looked less like a user and more like someone had cut a hole into the interface, and something was staring out through it. Tyler's voice cracked first. Okay, everyone just breathe. We're fine. It can't actually hurt us. It's just a call, right? But even he didn't sound convinced. Nia, the whisper. I heard it before she did. A soft knocking. Not from her mic, but behind her. A wooden, shallow tap 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 like someone testing the strength of a door. Nia, I said. Someone with you? She froze. Her entire profile picture went green. Her mic lit continuously, but she wasn't speaking. Guys, she whispered finally. I think my bedroom door just opened by itself. Red snapped. Don't play. Not now. I'm not, she said, and her voice cracked. There's breathing behind me. Her camera flickered on for half a second, unprompted. A dark room, a corner where the shadows were too thick. Then black again. Her voice came back, barely audible. It's behind me. And then disconnect sound. Her username flickered gray. No scream. No thud. Just gone. The chat auto-generated a system message. Nia left the call. But she didn't leave. She vanished. Red, the silence. Red started pacing. We could hear it, his footsteps, the rustling, the heavy breathing. This is your fault, Tyler, he muttered. You brought that link. You dragged us in. You! His voice cut out. Not muted. Not disconnected. Just gone mid-sentence like someone reached into his throat and removed the sound from the air. His circle lit, but there was no audio. His breathing stopped. His footsteps stopped. And then, disconnect sound. His icon went gray. No final words. No sign of struggle. Like someone hit delete on him. Tyler, the confession. Now it was just Tyler and me. Two circles glowing in a void that used to be our group chat. Listen, Tyler said, panic creeping into every vowel. I didn't know what it was. I swear. Someone sent me that link and said it was an ARG server. I thought it would be funny. I didn't know it could. His voice glitched into static. Copy us. I didn't know. The knocking started again, but this time it came from Tyler's mic. Louder, harder, closer, like it was inside the headphones. He whimpered. It's at my door. Oh God. Dude. It's opening. I whispered. Tyler. Don't turn around. The knocking stopped. Silence. Tyler exhaled shakily. I messed up, he said, voice small. I'm sorry. I should have never shared that link. I didn't know that it hunts by sound. What do you mean? I asked. That thing. His mic glitched. Once it hears your voice once, just once. The sentence never finished. His screen went dark. Disconnect sound. His username turned gray. And then the system message appeared. Tyler left the call. Except Tyler wasn't leaving anything ever again. The pattern. The call timer on my screen spun like a broken clock. Infinity. In the corner of the chat window, messages from earlier flashed again, repeating themselves like the app was rewinding the entire conversation. Can copy us. It only needs to hear our voice once. It only needs to hear our voice once. Hear our voice once. The ace one. User unmuted for the first time. But the sound that came through wasn't ace. It wasn't even a voice. It was all our voices. Layered. Stacked. Echoing. Talking over each other in a wet, horrifying chorus. Nia whispering, Red breathing, Tyler apologizing, Ace screaming, and something deeper layered beneath it all. Speaking in syllables that didn't belong to human mouths. I fumbled for the leave call button again. It didn't move. I tried Alt+F for force quit. Everything. Nothing changed. The call had no exit. Just like Tyler said. Once it hears you, you're already trapped. The police report. Later, I would read the report. I would memorize the line that froze my blood even more than the call itself. All victims were pronounced dead at the exact minute their Discord username went gray. Not before. Not after. Exactly when the app changed their status. Instant death. Synced. The world's most horrifying timestamp. The final participant. On my screen, there were only 2 users left. Me green. Ace 1. Unmuted. And then, as if sniffing out the silence, a new profile circle popped into existence. No username. No icon. Just a face. A blurry, shifting patch of static shaped like a head. Turned toward me slowly. Like it had finally realized I was the only one left. And then Discord spoke on its own. New participant joined. I was alone. The call timer pulsed at the top of my screen. Call duration. Infinity. No seconds ticking. No minutes. Just a symbol that felt like a sentence. Across from my icon, the blank user Ace 1. Hung there, unmuted, silent. And right below him, the new participant. The face. It wasn't even pretending to be a profile picture anymore. It shifted like static wrapped around bones, glitching between expressions too fast to belong to anything living. Then it spoke. Not through a mic. Not from a mouth. Through the interface itself. The audio came from everywhere, my headphones, my speakers, the walls. You called me. The voice crawled across my skin like cold fingers. Who are you? I whispered, though I already knew the question didn't matter. You invited me. A new layer overlapped the first. Ace's voice. Distorted. You heard the signal. Now Nia's voice, trembling. You kept listening. Red's voice, flat and hollow. And now you answer. Tyler's voice, soft and broken. It wasn't mimicking them. It was replaying them. Every sound we'd made in the call. Every whisper, every breath, stored, recycled, weaponized. The face leaned closer on the screen, like pushing forward against an invisible pain. Pick. The word dropped like a hammer. Pick what? I whispered. Immediately, the interface glitched into a screen share. No prompt, no notification. My entire monitor shimmered and then showed a live feed of my own room. Me, sitting at my desk, staring at myself staring back. In the video, my bedroom door behind me slowly creaked open, but in real life it stayed perfectly still. The thing was showing me a future, or a warning, or a lie. I didn't know which was worse. The voices spoke again, stacking over each other. Pick, join the call, or send it forward. Let the next one answer. The meaning crashed into me all at once. It didn't need us to speak. It needed us to spread. Not by invitation, by story. If I told someone what happened, even hinted at the link, even described the call, they'd hear it. They'd repeat it. The next call would begin again. My throat tightened. I won't choose either. The face stretched, pixelating into a fixed, impossibly wide grin. Then you know Rule 3. I stopped breathing. I hadn't told the audience Rule 3. I hadn't even written it into my own notes. Because Rule 3 wasn't for them. It was for me. And the entity knew it. I bolted from my chair, grabbed the breaker panel by the stairs, and slammed the main switch down. The house collapsed into darkness. Total, suffocating quiet. My monitors went black. My PC powered off. The hum of electricity died. But behind me, a sound. Ping. The Discord call tone. My phone lit up on its own on the floor. Ongoing call. One participant waiting duration. Infinity. The face flickered onto the screen. Not distorted now, not glitching, just smiling. I didn't stay to see what it said next. I ran. And as I ran, I realized something. I couldn't warn anyone. I couldn't tell them the full truth. Because if I did, the next call would start with them. I didn't sleep for 3 nights after that. Not because I was afraid the thing would come back, though I was, but because I knew what it wanted. What it always wanted. And I knew the moment I made my choice, it would follow me for the rest of my life unless I did exactly what I'm doing right now. So listen carefully. I didn't escape that call. Not really. I just bought time. And the only currency it understands is attention. That's why I'm telling you this. Why I broke every promise I made to myself the night the screen went black and my phone lit up with that impossible timer. Why I'm sitting in a room with all the lights on even though I know that won't help. Why my chest is tight just saying these words out loud. Because the thing gave me a deal. Not in words, not exactly, but in that way it talks without talking. In that way it pushes thoughts into your head like a hand pressing against a foggy window, spelling out a message you wish you couldn't read. Said, spread the story. Spread the signal. Spread the next call. And I'll leave you alone. I don't know if it keeps promises, but I know it keeps records. And you've heard enough of this to understand what that means. I wish I could lie to you. I wish I could tell you this is just entertainment, that everything you heard was dramatized for effect. But if you've been listening closely, you already noticed the thing I've been trying not to acknowledge. You're not just hearing about the call. You're part of it now. The moment you heard the breathing, if you heard it, that wasn't my audio. My mic is clean. My room is silent. If something exhaled in your headphones, it wasn't me. And if you didn't hear anything yet, that doesn't mean you're safe. It's patient. It waits. It likes to start with small signs, the kind you can rationalize. A flicker in Discord. A channel that won't close. An icon that refreshes even when nothing loads. So before you brush this off, do me one thing. Check your open apps. Just humor me. If Discord is running, even in the background, even if you didn't open it today, even if it says, no active calls, don't answer anything. Don't accept an invite you didn't expect. Don't click a server with no owner listed. Don't join a voice chat that wasn't there before. Most importantly, if the call timer freezes, walk away. And if something already reached out, a whisper, a ping, a screen glitch, tell me. Tell all of us. Not because we can fix it, but because knowing the order of symptoms might give someone else a chance. Leave a comment if anything strange happens after this. Even if it seems small. Even if it feels embarrassing. Especially if your username grays out for even half a second. Because that's how it starts. You deserve to know the last piece. The rule I didn't tell you back in the confrontation. The rule the creature only revealed after I ripped the power from the wall and still saw the call active on my phone. Rule 3. The simple is cruel. And if you've listened this far, it's already hovering over you like a shadow that doesn't match your body. It only needs one listener to join the next call. Doesn't need a whole group. Doesn't need 5 friends. Doesn't need a server or a lobby or a glitch or an invitation link. It needs one person, one moment, one pair of ears. And now that you've heard everything, I just pray it wasn't you.